Hi, David McLeod here, founder of The Magic of I Am and creator of the Daily Affirmation program. Thanks for joining me today. Have you ever been accused of being selfish? I know I have on many occasions in my life, and I can say that it never really felt all that good to me, especially when I heard it from my mom when I was a little boy. There was a way in which her words could easily sound very judgmental to me, and the underlying message that I would often interpret was something along the lines of, "You better think of me before you think of yourself, or else." It was always that dangling "or else" that would get me really motivated to make my mother happy. But you know what happened from that teaching? I soon learned to believe that everyone else was more important than me, and that I had to somehow fulfill all their needs and all their wants before I could take care of my own. Now obviously this is an incorrect belief that stemmed from my own immature interpretation of my mother's words, but surprisingly this belief persisted in my life and had a major impact on me. And it was only in the last 20 years or so that I finally managed to fully understand this belief and to dismantle it and replace it with something that makes more sense and serves my greater good. You see, what I've learned more recently is that when someone else accuses me of being selfish, what they're really saying is that they want some attention. However, it takes courage and vulnerability to admit when you're feeling tender and wanting some love. And so, unfortunately, the ego mind remembers all the times that you tried to be courageous and vulnerable and ended up being hurt by someone else who seemed more powerful than you. And so it anticipates that the same kind of hurt will happen now, even though you are an adult. As a result, the ego mind goes into a fear-based reaction mode of trying to create safety, even when no real danger exists. And it uses tactics like lashing out with judgments in order to protect you from being hurt again. People often react in this way without even being aware of the motivation behind their reaction. The truth is, there's nothing wrong with doing things for yourself. When you do things for yourself, you're actually taking care of yourself. And that means loving yourself. It seems to me that that's actually a good thing, no matter how other people may react to it. Of course, if your method of taking care of yourself actually results in neglect or abuse of others, then you might want to reconsider that method and look for other alternatives that at least consider the needs and desires of others. In this way, you can engage unconditional self-love while loving the people around you at the same time. And this can be a true inspiration to others. May you always be truly self-aware and self-loving. Blessings on your journey.